Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's starting to enjoy the start of the week to their Memorial Day weekend. I want to wish everyone out there a happy Memorial Day weekend. May it be safe. Yes, I know the topic I'm doing on probably doesn't, and most people's concern does not concern Memorial Day. This is Truth Portal, and welcome. And it's about breaking down truths. The truths that mainstream media won't bring to you. And I can see I'm going to have issues already. Give me a second. I got to close some screens out. I guess that it's going to be one of those days. I guess their idea of fixing our internet yesterday was to make it go from bad to worse. Because that's exactly what they did. So live streams are going to be iffy for a while now. Get a new antenna pole put up, which I have to do, and have them come out here and redo the box up on the antenna. They just moved it down lower, which made our connection even worse. But that was their idea of the fix. Anyway, that's off subject. Let's get on subject. Like I said, before I get on subject, this is a message to YouTube. This is not an ad-friendly video. Since you want to censor my stuff and demonetize my channels, this isn't monetized, and I better not see an ad, and I better not. Because I'm telling you now, it's not ad-friendly. It goes against what you guys are censoring us on already. Now, to the topic, a brief breakdown on Islam. God, this wrong conception of Islam. And don't get me wrong, they're right. They're right on the radical aspect. There are many forms and many different interpretations of the Quran. The Quran has been changed. That is a lie when they say it hasn't. They say, many claim that it is on any book. I am going to show you this. There's links in the descriptions, guys. Pretty sure are safe that you can go to and start researching these facts for yourselves. You guys are becoming blind to all things. You're believing what everybody tells you and not doing research. That. I'm going to tell you something. Islam is no different than Christianity, Judaism, any religion out there. It has many branches, many sects, many different interpretations, many different versions of their religious text, as I will prove to you in this video, as you guys can follow the links that I've given you and prove to yourself. You must understand the Islamic religion is multicultural. It's based in regions. Each region has sects that have a different interpretation of the term Islam or the term Quran. Not all of it believe in the radical ideas and forms. You guys also must understand that a lot of these sects have been killed, and there's been a genocide from the radical form of Islam. People, their own religious faith, that do not support the idea of radical Islam. There is many groups out there that believe in a peaceful form, that preach a peaceful form and teach a peaceful form. But yet these people that believe in peace, want to be able to coincide with other religions, are forced into subjugation, their lives threatened daily. I mean, there are aspects of Islam that we may not agree with, but I don't agree with everything in every religion. Even my own, I don't agree with things in it. Look how long in Christianity it took for women to have equal rights to be a member of the church. Even to this day, women are still condemned to become preachers. Some churches still believe in the role of the woman to be silent. Husband. That still can be found today in Christianity and Catholicism and other religions. We must stop judging things by bad apples. Religion has their zealots and radical factions. Truth that no media is out here telling you about. I stumbled across this week Fox. They are actually debating that fact, and they're arguing amongst themselves about it, that even Christianity has its radical forms, its radical factions, its zealots. And they were talking about, because they were somehow the media got a hold of, can't prove it, it's just images, but Muslim cab drivers putting free rides into their way of speaking out against, hey, we're not supporting them. Free religion, a peaceful religion. We don't want what's going on. We must be careful how we judge others based on radical factions, based on zealots, based on people that preach hate. So I decided to break it down just a bit. All the work for you guys. I'm done doing that. I'll give you a few links, give you my opinion and views. It's on you to question everything that is said. That's not what I say, what everybody says. You to do the research. It's getting harder and harder to do the research, guys. We're dealing with censorship. We're dealing with governments that don't want the truth out there because it goes against what they're pushing. Like I said, this is not an ad-friendly video. None of my videos will be from here on out on this channel. And it's time that we start supporting each other, bringing these truths to light, educating other people, educating our children. Don't let our churches and our schools and our governments educate our children. That's our job. That's why I'm doing this video. A friend of mine, who's a mother, went to an event. And Black Lives Matter showed up. And it was an event that had nothing to do with well, it was a religious event, but it had nothing to do with politics or anything else. It had nothing to do with Islam, Christianity, and definitely nothing to do with politics. And from that point, she's going to make it her point to teach her kids about every religion, the truths, show them minded. This is what we need to be doing. Education don't happen in our schools anymore. We educate. We're to educate our children. They don't teach the stuff that we were taught when we were growing up. And now we're just being brainwashed, pitted against one another, especially here in the United States. Freedom of religion, guys. Remember that. Everybody has a right to believe and practice what they want here in the United States and in a few other countries as well. We also have to remember there are bad apples in every group. There is a radical faction in every group of every religion. You guys know my opinion on the word religion. You guys should all have faith, some faith. Believe in whatever God you want. It's faith that matters, not religion. Just like the Jewish faith. Yes, they have the Torah, but how many people out there know that they also have the Talmud? Shit. Christianity has many versions of the Bible. You have the Catholicism version, and Catholics are Christians. Then we have other traditionals, the ones that broke away from the Catholic Church. We have their Bible. The only difference is based on the Apocrypha different from various Bibles. But you guys don't know that when you don't pick others' texts up and read for yourself, judge for yourself. And judge a book by its cover or by the people that follow it, because there's bad apples in every group. So, let's get on with this topic. Now you guys are going to have to bear with me because, like I said, bad internet connection. I got to find which one I want to start since I can always... Like I said, I got 3 links, and I'm going to go try the first one first. There's one, I want one first because it breaks down the sex. It breaks down regions and stuff. As soon as I find it, I will. Like I said, these are just 3 links, and this ain't the one. So the first link, guys, is the one that covers the various translations, the fact that there's more than one interpretation of the book. We'll get into this last. So let me put in the other link, which I'm guessing is probably at the bottom. No, it's this one. The one that has the Detroit one. Leave. You know, a lot of people, I understand, are afraid to go searching for this stuff because they might end up with this, which is, you know, possible, quite possible actually. The first link we're going to start with is the Detroit Faith Council, Interfaith Leadership Council of Metropolitan Detroit. What are the major similarities and differences in the different sects of Islam? There are 2 major sects in Islam, the Sunni and Shia sects. Some refer to Muslim mystics, the Sufis, as a sect of Islam. They, however, are considered as Sunni. And you're going to find, as you start researching, you're going to find that there's a lot more than just what they're saying here. This is just one aspect of it. Because mysticism sects in Islam. There's one, I can't remember the name, but they wear the headbands. You'll see them drumming, dancing, kind of like... Those guys have been almost completely, genocidally removed because they practiced a mystical side, in peace, more nature-bound, more spiritual-bound, which went against the radical forms. But this is a good starting point to understand. A study conducted by the Pew Research Center in 2010 and released January 2011 found that there is 1.62 billion Muslims around the world, and it is estimated that the Sunni population is between 75 and 90%. Those numbers are quite inaccurate now. Like I said, they've been a genocide going on among their own people. Guys, I know I am live. If you guys leave comments or put something in the chat, bear with me. I'll check back periodically because, like I said, I don't know how well this connection is going to stay. The Sunni Islam. The word Sunni comes from the Arabic word sunnah, which means way, and is referred to the way of the Prophet or the traditions, actions, and sayings of the Prophet Muhammad. The Sunni Islam is sometimes referred to the Orthodox Islam. Among the Sunni sects, there are 4 major schools of thought, or subsects, each follow a particular Islamic law. They are the Hanafi school of thought. The founder is the Persian scholar Imam Abu Hanafi al-Nu'man ibn Thabit. And if my Hebrew is better than my Arabic, so, and my Hebrew is not that great either. His school of thought is practiced widely in the Southeast Asia, Central Asia, the Caucasus, the Balkans, and Turkey. The majority of Sunni Muslims practice the Hanafi. Oh boy. Jurisprudence. Now, here's what you asked when I was discussing about these regions. Various parts of the world, there's different forms of thought. a way they interpret it. The Shafi school of thought. The founder is Abu Abdallah Muhammad ibn Adis al-Shafi, known as Imam al-Shafi. Imam al-Shafi also is the first among equals for his exhaustive knowledge and systematic methodology to religious science. Adherents of this sect are mainly from the Middle East. The Maliki school of thought. The founder is Maliki bin Anas. Its adherents are mostly from the North Africa, United Arab Emirates, and parts of Saudi Arabia. The Hanbali school of thought. The founder is Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. The Hanbali jurisprudence is considered very strict and conservative. The Hanbal school of jurisprudence is practiced mainly in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, as well as in parts of Syria and Iraq. The Shia Islam. The word Shia in Arabic literally means a sect or faction. The followers of the Shia sect belong to the faction of followers of Muhammad's cousin, son-in-law, Ali, who, according to the Shia sect, should have been the direct successor of Muhammad and is considered divinely appointed imam. There are three main schools of thought, or subsects, within the Shia sect. The Ithna Ashari, Twelvers. The followers of this sect believe in 12 divinely ordained leaders known as the 12 Imams. Nearly 85% of the total Shia population belong to this sect. They are scattered in Iraq, Iran, Bahrain, Lebanon, and Syria. A large minority group is found in India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. The Ishmaelis branch, or commonly known as the Seveners, unlike the Twelvers, believe in different numbers of Islam. They also differ in the role of the Imam. The Ismail minorities are found in Syria, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Jordan, Lebanon, and South Africa. The Zaydai branch. This school of thought was named after its founder, Zahid ibn Ali. Oops, my bad. They are mainly prevalent in Yemen. They have a unique approach within the Shia Islamic thought that is similar to the Sunni Islam. Adherents to this branch are called the Fivers. The difference between the Sunni and Shia sects. The difference between the Sunnis and Shia is more of a political nature than creed. There are no dogmatic difference between the two sects. Both Sunnis and Shias believe in one God, Allah in Arabic, or Tawhid, monotheism, in the angels, scriptures, prophets, and messengers, the hereafter, the divine decree, destiny. They share the same scripture called the Quran, although there may be differences in the way the Sunnis and Shias worship. Nevertheless, both pray 5 times a day, fast the month of Ramadan, pay the zakah, or the obligatory charity, and go to Mecca for pilgrimage. During daily prayers, both Sunnis and Shias direct their faces towards Mecca. Like I said, we are going to cover the very many different, a few of the different versions of the Quran that are, each of these sects have a different version, but much, like I said, much like every other religion. We just know one group to be more radical than the other, and they've been slowly, systematically committing genocide amongst their own followers, eliminating the sects that does not belong, that don't believe in the radical version. After the death of Muhammad, Muslims disputed over the Prophet's successor. Muhammad's successor, Abu Bakr, and the other 3 caliphs, Omar, Ottoman, and Ali, after him, were accepted by Muslims as the rightful successor of the Prophet and were later known as Sunnis. On the other hand, the Muslims who thought Al-Birni Abi Talib, the Prophet's cousin, is the legitimate successor of the Prophet, became to be known as Shia. The Shia believes that the Prophet's successor has to be from the family of the Prophet Muhammad, whereas Sunnis believe that the successor of the Prophet must be from the tribe of Quraysh, the Prophet's tribe. The political discord continued for centuries, and the divide between the two sects remains to this day unsolved. Another major difference between Sunni and Shia is the Sunnis believe that no person other after Muhammad is infallible, while the Shia believes in the infallibility of the 12 imams, leaders, who are descendants from the family of the Prophet Muhammad. The reason I decided to pick this one for a starting point is because it breaks down some of the sects. It starts showing you the political differences over the non-radical. Now we'll go on to the next one, which I have to find. Be the one for dummies. They made a thing for dummies for everything. I remember when it first came out. It tells you my age. For Windows, dummy for religion, dummy for math, about anything. More, we're going to be talking about sex. Muslims adhere to different Islamic sects. Although Sunnis make up the majority of Muslims, not every Muslim belongs to the same Islamic sect. A Muslim's Islamic beliefs may take one of these forms. This is actually a short one. Sunni. Muslims include 84 to 90% of all Muslims. Sunni means tradition, and Sunnis regard themselves as those who emphasize following the traditions of Muhammad and of the first two generations of the community followed. Movements to reform Islam have originated mainly in the 20th century. Some are limited to one country, and others have most are Sunni movements such as the Wahhabis, the Muslim Brotherhood, and Jama'at Islamic. The Muslim comprises 10 to 16% of all Muslims. Shiites are the party of Ali. Believe that Muhammad's son-in-law Ali is the Imam, and that the Muslim community should be headed by a descendant of Muhammad. Three main subgroups of Shiites are the other one, the 12ers, the 7ers, and the 5ers. The Sufis are Islamic mystics. Sufis go beyond requirements of religion to seek a personal experience of God through forms of meditation and spiritual growth. A number of Sufi orders, Christian monastic orders exist. Most Sufis are also Sunni Muslims, although some are Shiite Muslims. Many conservative Sunni Muslims regard Sufism as a corruption of Islam, although most still regard Sufis as Muslims. And once more, we have to wait for my computer to catch back up. Oh, come on. don't know if you guys can hear me, but everything's froze up. Hangout, anything Google related. Go figure. I'd be shocked if I am, but yes, I'm still streaming. Sorry about that, guys. As of what happened a couple weeks ago, everything froze up and crashed. I just managed, lucky enough to wait for everything to unfreeze. Like I said, it seems when I do certain topics here of late, I've been getting major internet issues, and it's not my internet because I'm running perfect right now and was running perfect. So it just goes once more to show you they don't want certain truths brought out. But from the looks of it, I'm still live, so let's continue where I left off. Well, maybe. This probably looks like it's not going to happen, guys. They might. Let me see here. I guess it is. This is beyond ridiculous. But like I said, there's more than one version of the Quran. Guys, the last part I was reading, the link's in the description. You guys can go finish reading it. I can't get back to it now. I want to read this for you guys. The different Arabic versions of the Quran. Many Muslims have told me that the Quran has been perfectly preserved and that all Qurans around the world are absolutely identical. They have said this in order to prove that the Quran is superior to the Bible. Maybe a Muslim has said this to you. Maybe you are a Muslim and this is what you believe and have said about the Quran yourself. It is common for Muslims to believe and say this because this is what their leaders teach them. Consider the following quote. No other book in the world can match the Quran. The astonishing facts about this book of Allah is that it has remained unchanged even to a dot over the last 1400 years. No variation of text can be found in it. You can check this for yourself by listening to the recitations of Muslims from different parts of the world. And this recitation was taken from the Basic Principles of Islam, page 4. The above claim is that all Qurans around the world are identical, and that no variation of text can be found. In fact, the author issues a challenge, saying, you can check this for yourself by listening to the recitations of Muslims from different parts of the world. In this article, I will take up this challenge and see if all Qurans are identical. To start our investigation, we'll turn to an Islamic encyclopedia written by a practicing Muslim. The scholar explains on an important aspect of the history of the Quran. Please read the quote a few times if you are new to this area of the study. Certain variant readings of the Quran existed and indeed persisted and increased as the campaigns who had memorized the text died, and because the inchoate, basic Arabic script, lacking vowel signs and even necessary diacriticals to distinguish between certain consonants was inadequate. In the 4th Islamic century, it was decided to have a recourse to return to readings Qur'an, handed down from 7 authority readers, Qur'an, in order. Moreover, to ensure accuracy of transmission, 2 transmitters, Ra and Ruah, were accorded to each. There resulted from the 7 basic texts, Al-Qur'an, At, As, Sab, the 7 readings, each having 2 transmitted versions. Rahatan, with only minor variations in phrasings, but all containing meticulous vowel points and other necessary diacritical marks. The authoritative readers are Nafi from Medina, Ibn Kathir from Mecca, Abu Ammar al-Ala from Damascus, Ibn Amir from Basar, Hamza from Kufa, Al-Kasai from Kufa, Abu Bakr Asim from Kufa. Therefore, we need to realize that the Quran has been passed down to us from men called the readers. There were famous reciters of the Quran in the early centuries of Islam. The way these men recited the Quran was formally recorded in textual form by other men called the transmitters. There are in fact more readers and transmitters than those listed above. The table below lists 10 commonly accepted readers, their transmitters, versions, and their current area of use. Nafa, Wash, Quran, the 7. Current area of use, Algeria, Morocco, parts of Tanzania, West Africa, Sudan. As for the Wash, W-A-R-S-H, Qalam, Q-A-L-U-N, Libya, Tunisia, and parts of Qatar. Ibn Kathir, Al-Bazir, and Quanbol, the transmitters. No regions record in use. Abu Amar Allah al-Allah al-Duri, part of the end in West Africa. No region listed, but I recognize the name, so I'm pretty sure there's some areas that are still listed. Hasham ibn Dakan is parts of Yemen. Amazah, the Kalas, the Khalad, El-Duri, Abu el-Harith, no known regions. Abu Bakr Assam, Has ibn Ashah, Muslim world in general, the three. Abu Jafar ibn Zamaz, Yaqub al-Hassami, which is runaways, Ra, Khalif al-Bazar, Ashka, Idris al-Hadat, no known regions listed. What the above means is that the Quran has come to us through many transmitted versions. You cannot recite or read the Quran except through one of these versions. Each version has its own chain of narrators, and it's not like a hadith. There are more versions than those listed above, but they are not considered authentic because their chain of narration is considered weak. Not all these versions are printed or used today, but several are. We will now compare two of them. A comparison between two Arabic Qurans. All these facts can be a bit confusing when you first read them. If you are feeling that way, don't worry, it's normal. To make things simple, we will now compare two Qurans from different parts of the world to see if they are identical. The Quran on the left is now the most commonly used Quran. It is the 1924 Egyptian Standard Edition based on the transmitted version of Imam Hafs. The Quran on the right is according to Imam Warsha transmitted version and is mainly used in North Africa. Like I said, now I'm showing you there's more than one version of the Quran. But yet any radical form will deny this. Just like many Christians will deny the Catholicism version. But you both claim to be Christians. Or other variations. When you start changing things, when you start modernizing, retranslating them to modern times, meanings get lost, definitions changed from the use of the words that meant something completely different as they do today. We must also understand this fact when dealing with any religious text or any culture that speaks a different religion. When we interpret a text into another language, it loses some of its meaning and definition. The following examples are from the same word in the same verse. On some occasions, the verse number differs because of the two Qurans number their verses differently. There is a slight difference in script as well. The letter Qaf in the Warsh version is written with only one dot above, and the Fa has a single dot below. This is the orthography of North Africa, Maghreb Arabic script. For this part, guys, you're going to have to actually do the research. I'm not going to screen share this because I'm just having too much trouble with this. But I'll read it. Waha Sa. And Ibrahim enjoyed Waha Sa on his sons. The Quran according to Imam Warsh. The first one was the Quran according to Imam Hafs. The second one will always be Imam Rash. Wa with apostrophe W-A, Asa. Instead of being one word, they added either a dot or an apostrophe. It's showing apostrophe here, but Arabic's much like Hebrew with the use of dots for vowels. And Ibrahim made Wa Hassa, his sons. The Haas version is a second form verb, while the Warsh version has an extra aleph to make a fourth form verb. This intensifies the meaning of the verb. And you can also see the different translations in it. Instead of being enjoyed, instructed, or made. Wasari u has hastened to, or in the second version, Sari u hastened to. The Haas version has the extra word wa, and this does not change the meaning of the verse, but does add an extra word. Yeah, I can't pronounce this one, guys. Well, I want to try, but forgive me for my brutalized butchering of words. I do it to every language, including English, so. Yatada, turn back. Yartad did, turn back. The two words are recited differently, but have the same meaning. They are two different examples of the eighth form of justice verb. This is most likely a difference in dialect. Quala, he said quala, my Lord knows. Cool, say cool, my Lord knows. In the Haas version, quala is the perfect tense, and therefore Muhammad is the subject of the verb. But in the Warsh version, qua is the imperative, and therefore the subject is God, who is commanding Muhammad, Muslims. This difference is repeated in 21, verse 112. And one more variation. Wala yahhafu. And for him is no fear. Walha akhafu. Second version. Fala akhafu. Therefore, for him is no fear. Fala akhafu. There are different letters at the beginning of these words. This changes the connection from and to therefore. And these are just small descriptions. There's, texts are different. Like I said, we've been taught there's only one version. There's more than one version. Time you guys wake up, when you see, like I said, when you hear people saying there is peaceful forms, when you hear some Muslims speaking there is peaceful forms, there is. They're not all radical. The radical form of Islam has now gained power to such that committed genocide upon their own kind, their own faith, annihilating the different sects that believe in a peaceful religion, in a peaceful form. The mystic sect of Islam is almost non-existent. They were eradicated slowly from the 80s throughout the 90s through genocide. These are important facts that we need to understand. We got to stop judging things by what we're told. We got to do research. We got to question everything. Doesn't matter what our religious views are, what our faith is. We cannot take things for granted anymore. The media's not telling you the truth. They're telling you there's only one version. What news network you listen to, none of them are telling you the truth. The truth is, yes, there's bad people in this world. They do bad things all the time. But there's plenty of good people in this world who don't, who do things to help support others in need. Until we break this cycle, stop allowing our governments, our politicians, our news media to tell us how to live, that these things are wrong, and it goes clear back to our own religious beliefs and practice. When we said in our churches, whatever they may be, synagogue, or what you want to call your church of worship, we've got to even stand up to the preachers preaching the hate Every religion preaches it. Don't say you don't. I've sat there and been to many different churches of different faiths and beliefs, especially within Christianity. And I'll tell you right now, to you Christians out there, I've heard the hate come from those preachers. Pentecostal, Seventh-day Saint, Catholic, hating homosexuality, hating other people's because they don't believe in the same beliefs as you. That gets preached and taught to our children. Our children teach it to theirs, and the hate continues to where we live in the United States. We believe we're supposed to have freedom of religion, but we mock that. We speak hypocrisy every time we say, well, I'm a Christian. I don't agree with your views. Your views are evil. You're evil. Therefore, you're no better than the radical form. All because my belief is different, but yet I live in a country that says I can practice this. It's what our forefathers wanted. Our forefathers and founders of this country made it that way because why? They knew their history. It was still passed down, and they were taught rights and wrongs. They learned from the past. Most anyone that can trace their genealogies from overseas knows that most of our families came here fleeing the persecution of the Catholic Church, fleeing the persecution of the king and queen, who was at that time, there was a division even over there where the Catholic Church was supporting one part of the monarchy and the Lutherans were supporting the other. The only hate that's ever been around has been the word religion, used to control you, brainwash you, and tell you that this person's evil because he doesn't follow your faith. This stuff's never going to stop until we wake up, until we stop it ourselves, until we start educating our own children, teaching them, don't be scared to study all things. Explain to them, yes, there are bad apples in all groups, but they don't reflect those of us that believe in a peaceful way, a loving way. You know, it's to the point where most people hate every form of Islam because they've only been, the last few generations, they've only seen one form, only heard about one form, the radical form. Then many of you are just been taught that way, going to your churches, being taught this religion's bad, this religion's bad. Guess what? All religion's bad. Because it controls you and teaches you to hate one another. Not when a Christian says, love thy neighbor. Love. Not hate, not judge. Only those who are spiritual may judge. And none of you are spiritual enough to judge another man. Not in this day of age. There may be 1% out there that can. And they're looking at you guys now, judging you by the way you've judged everyone else. You know, because now our politicians, our governments, they use this against us. They've got us all so divided. It's worse. The division in this world is worse, even in this country, in the U.S., is far worse than it ever was in the Civil War. And there's nobody to blame but ourselves. We allowed this to happen. And if you don't believe me, start researching. Start questioning everything you hear. I've just showed you. I've showed those of the Muslim faith that tune in because that's the way I've labeled things. Question your own ideologies of what you've been taught. I don't get why everyone is acting the way they're acting now. There's chaos around the world. And most of it can find its roots right in because of religion. because we've all been taught to hate. But yet, and I'm not blaming religion. I'm not blaming faith. Religion is a bad word. We should have faith. You know, to all you Christians, I could quote your Bible left and right. You know, those of you who like to pray and open, well, the Bible specifically states, go to your closet and pray in silence, in secret. If you want to worship, fine. But don't do it. Don't judge others and call them evil. That's what they're using to control you. It's what they're using to divide us, to cause the chaos that we constantly see in this world. It's on you guys, not me. I see the truth. I have an open mind. I know many of you, some of you that even follow claim to be open-minded, but as soon as this person with a different belief opens out, starts talking, you shun them. You're not open-minded. You won't even speak to them again. That's the problem. It has become just as much the problem and not the solution. And many of you should probably take down your descriptions talking about open-mindedness because you guys lack it. You guys lack common sense. You guys have all become brainwashed because you can't see past what you've been taught. You can't question the things that you've been taught. I was lucky. I was taught to question everything. But then again, my whole family does. And the generations and generations since the signing of the Constitution, which where you will find my family's last name. It's not about believing in an idea. It's about understanding that when people get put into power, greed happens. They want to control. We live in a society that no one cares. We are treated like peasants and slaves, not free men, not free thinkers, not open-minded people. Then those of us who are open-minded and free thinkers decide to come out and speak. Wow. You've seen what happened. Just in this stream. Second time it's happened. On a stream much similar, just talking on a different subject. And I'm not the only one that's experiencing it. That's why I stated in the beginning to YouTube, this is not an ad-friendly thing. I will not monetize it. I'm done monetizing. I don't want your money. To me, your money is nothing but blood money. It goes against the Constitution, goes against my beliefs and ideologies and of the American people and of the free nations that have freedoms. And that's okay, YouTube. You forget. I'm a web designer. I can create my own platforms. I've done it. There's free, open source, free software out there that allows me to do exactly what I'm doing here. And if people like what I'm saying, they want to support me, go ahead. There's a link in the description. You also support this channel by liking, sharing, spreading the word. That's a form of donation. That's giving to others. And subscribing to this channel. I might say things you might not like or agree with all the time. Sometimes you might find something where I might have been wrong. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. I'm not scared to listen to other people's ideas and opinions. I do it on a daily basis I follow Christian channels, pagan channels, conspiracy theorists, you name it, I follow what I'm drawn to, what I hear truths. And sometimes I might not agree with everything they say, but sometimes, hey, they bring up something I didn't think about, makes me question, start going back and rethinking. That's why it's important not to be judging people because of what they believe in or what their idea of religion is. Everyone should have the one idea of religion. Is nothing more to control, means to control the masses and keep you enslaved. Nothing wrong with faith. In fact, nowhere in any of the scriptures that says you need to go to a church. where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, you are a church, you are a congregation, you are a fellowship with God. Whatever name you want to call him. Here's the way I look at it when it comes to God. There's many names, many faces, many aspects of God, but they're all the one true God. Whatever form you want to see him, picture him as a him, her, whatever. That's between you and him. No one else. These are the things we've forgotten. These are the things that we've been brainwashed to think that there's no other way, there's no other God, there's no other name. And most of you don't study history. You can still find history on there, on the internet. You can still research history. Know where your roots have come from. Know the history, just not yours, others. The more you know, the more enlightened you become, the less controllable you are. The more you become free thinkers, the more you become open-minded. That message goes to everyone that listens to this. Don't care your faith, your belief, your ideology. You know, I should never have to break down any religion. I dislike it. But I'm not blinded to the fact there's truth in all things. Once you strip the dogma out of it, once you study the history, you know, like I said, quit judging books by the covers and realize that there's more than one book of every religion. There's more than one text of every religion. You know, like the Christian Bible, it got upgraded when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls. But did they add all the Dead Sea Scrolls to the Bible? No. There's certain things they left out. Do your research, study it. And also understand, anytime you reinterpret something from a different language to another language, then you revise it to keep modernizing it to the more modern forms of language, it loses its meaning and context and definition. From what I read today, which is something was to you guys, I also learned something. Because I have friends that are Muslims that practice a peaceful form that are against and do stand up against the radical side. No, I've learned from them. I've learned from others' religions. The most important thing I took from this today was the fact that it was like most old religions, passed down word of mouth, not in a written form. Then once it became written, we've seen what happened. Different interpretations depending on the region of the country you're from, or what part of the world you're from. The contexts have changed a bit. The dialects are different. The meanings are different. Like I said, not all forms of Islam is the hate radical side. It's like not all forms of Christianity are of hate and radical, or zealot beliefs and ideas. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, wake up. Start opening your minds to other things and research. You know, guys, there was tons of links I could have gave you. These are the 3 that I felt safest that you can go and just get a glimpse, a little understanding. Then you can follow it farther and farther. I'm not going to quote from the Quran, just like I'm not really going to quote from the Bible. It's not for me to quote from you, it's for you to go read and take it and match it up with other religious texts. Then you'll see that many will tell the same stories, just different names. Everybody believes in a great flood, even the Indians. Just told in a different way. I don't get it. I don't get you guys' lack of understanding of these aspects. I've heard some of you say it. admit to it. But when it comes down to it, you can't get past one set of ideas and beliefs, and anybody brings up something on the same terms, you cast out and judge them, something they are not. They don't make you open-minded, that makes you closed-minded. And some of you guys can figure out who I'm talking about. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, it's been a while since I did a truth portal. It's an important one, especially after just the way things are in the world today. Such things, guys. I shouldn't have to tell you. Don't go by what Wikipedia tells you. If you don't believe me, go watch my videos on Wikipedia on this channel. It's not a credible resource. It's not a factual resource. Anybody can edit. Then you'll find, as I found, there's things you can't edit, which goes against what they're about. The concept of Wikipedia, great idea. Great concept, just like many things. Many things had great inspirations, great concepts. But when you let others, people that want to control society, dictate things, the truth becomes obsolete. They give you, like I've been saying, the best lie is the one told with a little bit of truth. And the only way you can see that is to trust your own selves, your own inner voice, let it guide you. Trust your instincts. It'll guide you the right way and away from things that aren't true. It'll tell you, you'll feel they're not true. That's what everyone has tried to teach you guys not to do. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed, like I said. Probably not for everyone. None of my videos are. But I'm still bringing you the truth. I'm bringing you my views, my opinions of what the things I have studied, learned, experienced in this short life of mine. It's been short. I still hope to have 30 more, 40 more years to go. Maybe 50. I'm lucky. You know? But I've learned a lot. I've experienced a lot. I've went through a lot. I've went through stuff I don't talk about. I've seen a lot. And that's because of bad choices I've made, good choices I've made, mainly because I've been open-minded and not scared to interact with other people of other different beliefs, different ideas. It's how we learn, it's how we grow, it's how we learn to see the deception of this world. Can't do that when we're always judging people. You guys have a good day. Happy Memorial Day. Special shout out to all of our service members, our firefighters, our policemen, our EMTs, to our teachers that are trying to teach the truth, and to those on YouTube that are trying to bring you the truth. Guys, don't be scared to venture outside the box, because some of the greatest things you'll learn will come from outside of the box. I will probably be doing a few videos later this week, so I've got a couple of topics I want to talk about, but I was asked to do this one. And it's probably about time somebody does it. So, like I said, apologies for the interruption with the computer crashing. But once again, for those that didn't know, I had a video that I was doing and it did the same thing. It said I actually got disconnected from the stream. It couldn't get back in. It said my computer went to sleep. How's my computer going to sleep when I'm staring at my screen, staring at my thing, and everything just froze up, except for my computer? Could open anything else in the background. But then again, I will be doing a video on that YouTube's not going to like. Because, you know, when I go to the creator studio on YouTube and I look at the views of my videos compared to the views I'm seeing on Facebook, Twitter, various other sites I'm on, the numbers don't add up. Not even a little bit. Not even close. Some of these videos should have over 300 views, according to the statistics I'm getting from the other sites. Not 9, 15, 20. Like I said, I do pay attention when I think something's fishy and not right. We don't need to be computer scientists to realize that certain algorithms aren't computing right. Common sense dictates a lot. It'll show us a lot. That's why I've chosen not to no longer monetize any of my videos. Because I don't want the blood money from YouTube or Google. Yes, that's what it is. Because you're disrespecting my family. You're disrespecting our forefathers. You're disrespecting our Constitution by censoring our freedoms of speech. You're just proving to everyone that there's only one narrative. It's your narrative. It's the media's narrative. Nobody can speak outside of that. Well, guess what? You're wrong. You can't stop me from doing videos. I've got more than one email account. I'll create my own websites and share them that way. Either way, guys, the truth gets out. So, yeah, I'm rambling now. I hope you guys all did enjoy. It's been fun. Looks like I might have ended a while ago.